Okay, everybody, wiring the 3-terminal strip for the Solar Lunchbox version 2022. So for the first 3 steps, actually, here you're going to get 7 blue wire nuts, a 6-inch piece of red and black zip cord with the cords, 2 wires connected together but just pulled apart a few inches at each end, precision screwdriver, flat blade, wire tool, wire stripper, crimper, cutter. And the first step, this is step 3. First step is just extending the solar panel wires because they're too short. We need to have enough wire to be able to pull all of our wiring out of the project box and do it outside and then stuff it back in. So I'm just gonna get a piece of red and black 18 gauge stranded wire, pull apart maybe about 2 inches at each, and that's the hardest part. This is step 1. Strip it with the 18 stranded 3rd hole. Got some nice work music going on here while we work. All you have to do is supply your own music when you do this. And now, so there's that. Now your solar panel wires should already be wired in series. So that is red wire from one connects to the black wire from the other, and you're stripping using the smallest size hole on our wire tool, which is the size 22 hole. If you can see that all right. Oh, that's probably blurry. Very gently stripping off about 1/2 inch of insulation, putting these 2 together, wire nutting them together, making sure the wire nut doesn't come off. And then here I need about 1/2 inch, so I'll strip off a little bit more, which is difficult to do without cutting it. There we go. That one's pretty good. Now I'm adding, it's basically like an extension cord, the wire that I've already cut and pulled apart and stripped here, just extending the solar panel wires. So now I'm wiring parallel, red to red, black to black. Twist these together. It's a little long, so I can even fold it over like that. Put the wire nut on for the red wires. Put same thing for the black. These are a bit better matched. Maybe I'll fold it over, twist some more, put the wire nut on. So what you should end up here with is 3 wire nuts coming from your solar panel wires, attaching it to an extension cord. And your project box is going to be here already prepared with its voltage meter and switch. It's going to be here 2 inches from the corner because the goal is for the wires from the solar panels to reach straight down directly to this hole on the right hand side. But the wire nuts, of course, are not going to go through. What I'm going to put through is just the extension here. Well, this is step 2. Gets you a nice long wire, which you can always cut shorter if we need to. It's better to have it be too long than too short. You can always cut them shorter, but we can't make them longer. So that's step 1. Step 2 is going to be to connect those solar panel wires to the DC to DC converter, which is just simply wire nuts again. Here's the DC to DC converter. And of course we're going to connect it to the end that says in, red to red, black to black. And what's good to have here, since you're connecting stranded wire to solid core wire, is to have the stranded wires be longer, stripped more insulation off than the solid core. So I'm going to strip a little more insulation off these, get them, maybe a 1/4 inch longer. and then twist them very tightly together. And now, to make sure they stay together with the DC to DC converter, I'll wrap the stranded part around the solid part, and I'm going to make sure that solid part's a little shorter. Looks like it is. Wrap it around as many times as you can, and this pretty much covering up the solid core wire. That should assure they stay together. This is similar to a fixture splice that you would use if you're connecting a light fixture, you know, to a box with these two different kinds of wires. And the same thing here for the black wire. Wrap the stranded many times around the solid. Tuck it in, wire nut. Okay, so this was step 2. We've connected the solar panel wires, which we extended to the DC to DC converter, the end that says in on it. And now we'll go on to step 3. Step 3 is to connect the DC to DC converters, the end that says out, to the 3-terminal strip. The red one goes to E, the black one to C. So that's pretty easy. We just use our small flathead screwdriver, our precision screwdriver. Let's see what happened to that. Yes, it fell on the floor. That's what happened to it. Okay, so here we go. And of course, we've already labeled our, a little earthquake here. We've already labeled our 3-terminal strip, the terminals A, B, C, D, E, F. The diode should already be installed in between terminals A and B with the gray end of it, the silver end pointing towards A. So these screws are pretty much already loosened. We just need to tighten them. So again, the red wire, and this is where it's better to have our wires be a little longer, right? Because it's easier to work with them. The red wire is going to go opposite to B, basically feeding in electricity from E, which will go across to B and go through the diode to A, and then across to D. So that just goes in here, and we'll tighten it on this side with the small screwdriver. Very tight until the wire definitely won't come out again. Very tight, and then I'll test it, tug test. So that's the red wire connecting to E, and you can trace where the electricity goes after that. It goes across from E to B, through the diode, and then to A, and then across to D for later on. So this is basically just making sure that electricity coming in from the solar panels is never going to go backwards and back out to the solar panels through the battery or from the battery. And the black wire connects to C. That's going to be a little easier here, maybe. Kick that into C. See, now the advantage of this is, you know, we still got lots of extra wires, so we can pull the wires out of the 3 box, and then when we're all done, we'll just tuck them in. So I'll make sure that black wire goes all the way in so that we're not, looks like I might need to loosen this a little bit. We're not having any unexposed wires stick out there. It can actually even stick through to the other side a little bit. That's okay, it's so small. Tighten that. Good, and that's step 3. So that's the first 3 steps of wiring the 3-terminal strip.